Hello, amazing people. Welcome today on The Noble Show, the show that seeks to inspire, educate, and inform you. Today, our guest is still the same Mr. Fiifi Ashun. He still has a lot to share with us today on the show. So we're having a second part of him on The Noble Show today. So don't go anywhere. Stick and stay. We'll be right back.
This week on The Noble Show, our guest is Fiifi Ashun. He's an actor and also the marketing and PR manager of Gasam Ghana Limited. Benny is a lover of family and also has a strong passion to support the less privileged. Benny on The Noble Show.
Welcome back from the break. This is still The Noble Show. The show is proudly brought to you by C. Ryan Travels and C. Ryan Car Rentals. My hair was styled by Lizzie Beauty Center. You can locate her at Mataheko, opposite 1+1, and you can call her through the number on your screen. Welcome, Benny, to the show.
Hey, good to see you
to
again.
The second part of the show.
Yeah.
Because you always want to say something. You have a lot inside of you to share with us. But the other time I wanted to talk about your challenges, so
right.
I think I should do that now.
Okay.
You've gone through a lot, you've experienced a lot, and you are where you are today. What is one challenging thing in your life that you would never forget, and how did you overcome it?
Well, the one that's quite telling, because I have a couple of episodes like that, but the one that I remember vividly is in '88, like I said, when I had my first choice after doing well in common entrance, and I was just informed my dad passed. It was like the light-off moment in my life, because my dad was everything. He was everything because he himself, by design, made sure my mom was not working. I don't know who asked him to do that, but somehow, if you ask your wife not to work and you're the only one working, you're actually not doing yourself any good. He passed, and it was like I was troubled. However, I was sure and hopeful that I was going to pull through. An uncle of mine, a couple of uncles of mine, saw the publication in the news media about Otabil, ICGC at the time, giving scholarships. And I went through the interview. I was selected. And so I say to the glory of God, Form 1 to Form 5 in the Fansman, Otabil and ICGC, and the church paid my fees with pocket money. And this didn't come cheap, because at the end of the day, it was also based on performance. So when you have moments and privileges like this one, you need to live for it. I had to make sure I was with Joyful Way Incorporated. That's where the singing in mainstream started from. So SU, Scripture Union, GAMSU on campus, just to make sure I occupied myself in the right circles and focus on my books, basically. So it was incumbent on me to do well and make sure I do not disappoint the church and Otabil and my parents as well. And I think by the grace of God, even though that was a very dull moment in my life, I pulled through, and after advancement, it was one higher stage to the next level.
Were you an ICGC member at that time?
I wasn't. I was a Methodist, and I am happy to say around that time, he even supported people who were Muslims, who were not necessarily Christians. And that was such a noble gesture to Christendom, because he looked beyond only his church members, and we all benefited from this. And I think it came from what the church put together. So we're grateful to all you guys at ICGC. And somehow, I was duty bound to come back to ICGC, even though I said I was a Methodist then. I had been an ICGC member since the time I was supported. I have always been an ICGC member. I'm now assistant with a central aid that manages the, if you will, the scholarship bit of the ICGC church to support the other needy child that needs that support. So I think I've paid my dues. I'm still paying the dues, and it's been good to give back what I actually benefited from the church. Yeah.
How many years have you been married for?
I've been married for 17 years.
Okay.
And still counting.
How many years now have you had kids?
16 years. My first one is 16, so I'll say 16 years.
Okay. Are you a proud father, or do you think you have been a good father?
I'm a proud father. I'll leave the bit about me being a good father to my wife and kids. But if you ask me to self-appraise myself, I think I've done well. I've not done it all yet, but somehow the feedback I get from my kids is that I'm a proud father. I hope they don't do it only for me to be happy, but they make me feel that they cherish me.
What is your definition for an ideal man?
An ideal man is the one who takes care of their responsibility. A man takes care of its responsibility. If you have a duty to do, if it's 2, 3 things you need to do, you put it on you to do as a man, you need to execute it. No matter how you do it, you need to do it. That ideal man, it doesn't matter if you're married or not married, if you have a responsibility to yourself, even yourself, and to others, you make sure you're a man of your word. An ideal man is a man of his word.
Okay. If you were given an opportunity to change one thing in the area of charity, because I know you do a lot of charity, what would you do?
I will still support that needy child that can be the next president but does not have the help. It is easy for us to let people like that slip through our hands. And so I say child abuse is such a big thing that we have to look at. We are not so educated in our system to appreciate what we call child abuse. When you're growing up, when I was growing up, in my time, you could just easily whip a child, slap a child, sometimes push them on the floor, kick them. Parents do all manner of things. And they claim they did it out of love. But that is real child abuse right there. When you're talking or elderly people are talking and you're told you can't talk, you can't be even in this particular circle, you're being abused as a child. And sadly, we're having a recycle of that child that has never had that opportunity to come out with their best, and it turned them into very dull people who are quite unproductive. And when they grow, they vent their spleen and their anger on society. And it becomes that cyclical thing. I believe if I have that opportunity, I will mentor a lot of children, and with the benefit of hindsight, the things that I've gone through, make sure I guide them. Not for them to do me, to do them, because every one of us is made up or wired in a different way. Yeah. But you need to just guide the people and mentor them and get them to actually move in the direction they want to move. Just be responsible citizens, and I think we can get there as a country if we do that consciously. But
have you made any effort? Because it's nothing difficult to achieve, I think so.
Yes, I am the Goodwill Ambassador for an African Rights Initiative group that supports needy children and children who find themselves in a deprived community. Okay. And sometimes it doesn't even take you yourself dipping your hands in your pocket to support. You may have a network of friends who can support. So I champion that cause. I speak to the executive director, Prince, a very good friend of mine, and we use our network to help people. Sometimes we go to the Dwarf Islands where they've been neglected by the country. I mean, when you go there and you see the state of people there, the ratio of nurses or doctors to the average child there is like 1 to 500 or 1 to, say, 800. They live in impoverished states to the extent that someone walks into the bush to help their parents to farm. They can be bitten by a snake, and no one gives a hoot about them. They can die just by virtue of that. We support people like that. People who have had medical conditions where they have to go to the hospital, can't pay the bill, and the family just watch them to die. We support people like that. So I have a big network with Agape Samaritan International from the US and other big NGOs to come in, support with funds, support with other materials, just to make life better for that child that can be like the next leader of our country. Wow. So I've actually lived it, and I'm still living it.
I just hope you achieve more.
I'm hoping to achieve more. There are
lots of children going through hell.
Currently, the ICGC is still bringing up those of us who have benefited from their scholarship scheme to support the scheme, and also they are doing an essay contest to get people to actually apply and tell their story, and through that story you can see whether people still need that kind of help and find solutions for them. So ICGC, once again, thumbs up.
You're advertising your check.
I know.
Viewers, we're still talking to Benny on the show. Don't go anywhere, stay tuned.
Are you planning a trip? Or you're going for a holiday with a lot of destinations all over the world? Just decide on where you want to go, and see Ryan Travels will take you there. We offer UAE visa, air ticketing, tour packages, hotel reservations, corporate travels, and many more. You can contact Serine Travels on 0264 623 091 or 0302 408067. You can email Serine Travels at c.rhintravels@gmail.com. Serine Travels. You pack, we plan.
Welcome back from the break. This is still the Noble Show, and we are still talking to Benny Fiifi Ashun, Mr. Benny Fiifi Ashun.
Yes, ma'am.
Marketing, acting, PR,
Teaching.
How your father and everything you do. How do you do all that at the same time? What's your secret?
Prioritizing, doing a milestone of the activities you want to do. I like to write a lot. So everything that I have to execute, within a week I have my schedule for the week. And I write them in my diary. And whilst I execute them, I cancel them out. So from beginning of the week, Sunday to Monday, and I like to sit sometimes under my pergola and think about what I want to do for the week. So if I get just a little glass of chilled water, I plan that week. If it's acting, I need to put time to it and make sure I'm prioritizing. It doesn't affect my work at Gasam, because that's what put food on my table. The children, you have to make sure you don't just pay their fees. You support them by helping them to, solve problems from school, math, English. Yes, it gets to a point where the children are doing courses that are quite difficult for you to actually handle, but just sit by them and watch them read. And if they don't understand, call their teacher to come in and help. They appreciate the fact that you're close to them. A lot of parents, I don't blame us, because of the kind state of our sedentary lifestyle and the hard pressure on us from work. We don't get chance to be with our children. All we do is to pay the fees and allow the children to go to school. When they come, we don't check their homework. We don't check whether they're actually being truant or being good in school. I do all that. I make sure I attend the PTA, speak to the teacher, subject teachers, speak to the school management. And by the way, I'm the PTA chairman of my school.
You're doing a lot of things.
Because I want to be a part of everything that I am involved in.
Supports his wife in the kitchen or to do house chores?
Yes, readily. When my wife joined me in the UK, where we first, became husband and wife, we were friends long time before then. I used to cook for her, and I would do my favorite jollof or angwambo.
After, you see, when a man
don't like now.
When a man wants a woman,
he can do just about anything. You're right.
But when they get hold of her, like right now, the ring is on your finger, so
you see,
you just turn the table like that.
I will answer in this way. Sometimes the duties you have, I'm talking about me now, I can't talk about someone else, doesn't allow me to always be in the kitchen with her. The times that I am available at home, because I try to spend the weekends with my family, so I don't joke with my weekends. So I will try and be in the kitchen with her. But even that, sometimes she has restrictions for me. Sometimes you say, this is my area. You do what I ask you to do. And when I feel that I'm in an area and it's too restricted, I support, but I try not to stay beyond my boundaries. So maybe she's pushed me away from the kitchen, or else I'd love to be there to assist her.
Okay.
I could cook.
I should visit you one time so you cook for me.
Yeah.
Like a family lunch.
What's your favorite meal?
Palm nut soup and rice.
Yeah, I can do palm nut soup.
Okay.
And rice?
Yes.
You wanted rice ball or just rice with
rice.
it? Okay.
And palm nut soup.
Give me a date and a day and come.
Tomorrow.
All right.
Okay. Before we end the show, what will be your last words to the youth?
Right. I have this issue where there's a big dichotomy of follow your passion. There are people who are career guidance people, and I think I agree with that assertion that follow your passion, it will lead to benefits of putting food in on your table or money in your pocket. If that is the case, it is a politically correct case for you. Follow that passion and make sure it brings money home. But my sister, my brother, my kid's sister and brother, if your passion is to act, if you think your passion is to act, yet you're not getting much from acting, find a second, third stream of something to do. You see, you can't underestimate the importance of money in marriage. I had to go through marriage 17 years to understand that It goes beyond love. I love you. What is I love you? What is love? If you have love and you don't have money, you are not giving anything.
Yes.
Truly, it doesn't really pay much. If your passion is to handle the camera, make sure the camera is bringing money home. If the camera is not bringing money home, once you do your camera job, find that time you're not busy on set and do something else that brings money home. So I'm simply saying, in summary, combine your passion and make sure it's bringing you some money in your pocket. Money, kwacha, Luchi, don't joke with it. If you see cash and you can go for it, and I'm not saying go for it for the foul means, if you can do this through hard work, make sure you get some money on you. And if you do, always save some money, because all the days are not equal. Sometimes you may have money, other times you may not have money. I have this little susu box in my house. I put the 5 cities, 10 cities, 20 cities. There are times I'm really hard pressed, I need money, and I go and I'm smiling. I didn't even know I had that much money in there. Just save some money. Go for money. Do hard work through the right means, though. Don't go and do, you know what I'm saying? No. Get your right money, but save some of the money and take care of your responsibility. If you're a boy, a young guy, be a man of your word. Stick to what you say you're going to do. Listen, if you're a lady and you always are sitting out drinking and smoking with the guys, I'm not judging you, but your chances are quite slim to make it. Support the guys. Do not wait and say, I'm a lady, I'm waiting for a guy to come and marry me and take care of me. Take care of yourself. And the guy that comes will give you that limit of respect that you deserve. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I could have gone on and on, eh?
I know, right? Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Gabby. It's been a pleasure being with you and being on your show, and I wish you all the best on the show.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. We'll
Thank
meet
you.
again.
For sure.
If I don't see you in the next 1,000 years, though.
Look for me, small. Look for me.
It's been a great time here today with Benny Fiifi Ashun on the Noble Show. I believe you've learned a lot from everything he said on the show. The show was proudly brought to you by Sirine Travels and Sirine Car Rentals. Thank you so much for staying with us today on the show. See you same time next week. My name is Dr. Gabriela. Bye-bye.